Hey everybody, my name is Marcy. Welcome back to my channel. Today is a garden video. Now I went and recorded a bunch of stuff before sitting down to record this part. I don't remember the date, so I won't be sharing that, but this was all shot on the same day and kind of in rapid succession. It is a beautiful day out. It's a little humid. I could see the potential for it to turn a little steamy later on today. I don't know what the high is going to be. Probably upper 70s, lower 80s. It has been a few weeks since I last recorded a garden video, and I am still feeling a little bit frustrated that the year I decided to share my garden was the year that Mother Nature decided to show me who's boss, along with whatever else might be going on this year. With the most recent rain we had, the mosquitoes finally hatched out. So if you see me going like this, that's why, because I don't have any bug spray on. And we have more smoke from the Canadian wildfires, so everything's a little hazy. Not sure how well that's showing, but we've got some haze. I don't know what caused the most recent Canadian wildfire, but it all eventually comes down to my area in northern Wisconsin. So I'm trying to think of what could I say about the garden in this episode. Well, my cucumbers are doing fantastic. So are the squash. The squash is growing real long. I think I see the start of my first yellow squash. I might have a little bitty baby winter squash, which if I could just get one, that would make it worthwhile. The cucumbers, I'm hoping that we get a bumper crop, because for years I have wanted to make dill pickles, and we eat the cucumbers so fast out of the garden that I've never had any extra. So yeah, I'm hoping for that. Tomatoes and peppers, where I pinned all my hopes and dreams on this year for having a large crop come in so I could make all kinds of tomato products, mostly marinara for pizza sauce and spaghetti sauce. The peppers, we wanted to enjoy a lot of jalapenos fresh, but I also wanted to dehydrate a lot, and so we could grind it up for homemade pepper spice. In my last video or two, I shared my frustration with the cool weather the tomatoes don't like cool weather. Cool weather is what we've mostly had, so they're not doing very well. And also we think that there's something going on in the soil, that maybe they're lacking in nutrients. Despite all of the chicken manure, rabbit manure, regular fertilizer, and compost that we have put in the garden this year, something's going on. We've done soil testing with the kits that you can buy from the local home improvement big box stores. And my husband ordered a kit off of Amazon, and they are giving us conflicting results. One says that our pH is too acidic. The other one says it's too base. So I'm hoping there is a local place, in the town, that the big city closest to us. I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted by something flying. That has soil test kits that you can pick up from them, do your soil sample, and then send it off to, I forget what laboratory they said. I thought I wrote it down somewhere, but we will be doing that as long as that place gets the kits in. When I called last, they said they were out, and we're hoping to get some in this week on Wednesday. I haven't called yet to see what else. The raspberry canes that I chopped down last year seem to be coming back. Oh, I've had a long thought about this, and I said to my husband that I think I'm going to start ripping out some of these tomato plants that look like they're just not going to even attempt to flower this year. And I think it would just save me some time this fall rather than waiting and trying to coax them to flower then fruit, because they just don't seem happy, and the jalapenos don't seem happy. I mean, even a few of them that are in planters aren't happy, so I know it's, a lot of this is the weather, which I told my friend is pretty atypical for this area. Last year, we had almost constant rain in June, and then July, it started, actually, I could probably count on my hand how many times it rained from July 1st to the rest of the season. So we were doing a lot of watering, and everything was okay. But this year, we've just gotten so much rain that it's just ridiculous. My friend Becky, who lives down in Mississippi, her issue at the beginning of the season was all the rain, and we weren't getting hardly any. And now I'd say we got her weather patterns. I didn't mean for that big heavy sigh. I was thinking I'm going to show in the video the fruit trees, because I forgot to show those in the last video. I have some fruit trees over here by the garden, and then we've got a couple other fruit trees closer to the house. We have a cherry tree over there. We did buy a pear tree last year, or last year. It fruited, and then it didn't survive the winter, despite saying that it was good for our zone, our growing area. We also have a couple apple trees. I'm not expecting anything out of them this year or the next couple of years, because I'm hoping they establish their roots. And this will be kind of our last hurrah with the apple trees. If these ones don't fruit, I don't think we're gonna try growing apple trees anymore. We have a couple crabby apple trees in the backyard that produce every year, but they're like the size of golf balls and smaller. I mean, they're not really worth doing anything with unless you want to collect them, I suppose, and boil them and puree them down into something. I don't know, I haven't tried that, but the deer come and eat them, and the chickens peck at them, and when the fruit falls, which they'll probably be doing any day now. So with that, I wanted to say thank you for watching my video and spending time with me today. If you I'm having a moment. If you like what you see, please leave a like, and if you feel so inclined, or you see something that you like, or if you have any tips, any gardening tips, please leave a comment down below. And if you haven't subscribed, please do consider subscribing, because I also do post videos about all my crafty stuff, cross stitching, knitting, crocheting, sewing. Speaking of sewing, I finished that the other night. That project is 2 years in the making, and it is done, and I am so excited to have it done. But now I get to figure out what I need for the backing, pick out a batting binding, but also I still don't know how I'm going to quilt it. I was thinking about tying it, but I really like the lines, the straight lines, so that's why I'm hesitant on machine quilting it, because I'm not a very experienced machine quilter. But that will be for a different episode, so until next time, bye. Pepper plants, jalapenos mostly. This part is the ones I purchased from one of the stores. I probably should get down a little lower. And over here are the homegrown ones. Back there by the rooster my friend Maureen sent me, are the spicy ones. And I've got a few little peppers. One's ready. I don't know what kind these are because I mixed up the little soil blocks. You can see the tomato plants haven't really improved. I know I sound like such a downer on that, but this is an atypical year weather-wise for my area, and the combination of the near constant rain, the lack of sun, and there's something going on with my soil, and this is what I have, is very sad tomato plants. Now over here, they look a little healthier, they look happier. This is also the newer side of the garden. And honestly, I don't know what much more to say about my tomato plants other than I'm trying. I'm doing the best I can, but they are not like they have been in years past. And I know that I need to put more trellising up because these guys did start taking off, and they're leaning over the little bit of twine that I have. My Tiny Tims, I've already harvested a few tomatoes off of them. They were delicious. Oh. Yep. Okay, that was really good. Last winter, early January or February maybe, I knocked over one of my Christmas cactus plants and a bunch of pieces broke off, and I decided to try and root the Christmas cactus. in water, they grew roots, which was awesome. It was my first time trying to do anything like that. And out of the, I think 5 that I tried to root out, 4 made it. And you can see I've got some growth. Pretty happy. I was so excited that I was able to save and make new plants from those broken pieces. Then over here are some of my other Christmas cactus and a couple house plants that I brought out into the greenhouse. They're doing really well out here. Indirect light, a little bit of a microclimate, so it's a little warmer than if I had kept them in the house or put them outside of the greenhouse. This one, I can't remember what it is. Oh, I picked it up right after Valentine's Day. I forgot there was a tag here. One of my originals. And this one is turning out just stunning. I can't believe how beautiful it is. All these plants I picked up at Aldi's. And then, oh, one of my succulents tipped over. As much as I would like to, I can't seem to do well with succulents. I think these 2 plants are actually a couple plants that my husband brought home from one of the work sites when they were doing cleanup. And this is another Valentine's Day plant I picked up after Valentine's Day. That one seems pretty happy too, I guess. I don't know. I don't have a lot of experience with houseplants that aren't the Christmas cactus. And Christmas cactus are so hardy that I literally can't kill them, which makes me really happy. My pokeweed is doing fantastic. I really need to figure out what to do with it. I mean, find a place somewhere in the yard to transplant it. Last video I showed you my grapes. They've filled out even more. They are really taking off. And I'm really excited. I hope this shows up. There. I have grapes. I'm spotting the grapes here and there underneath all the leaves. Oh, they're still hard as a rock though. Definitely not ready to pick. I don't remember if I showed you guys my little milkweed patch outside of the garden. I have a feeling I did, but I don't remember for sure. But I'd say it's a pretty good indicator of how the natural plants are doing, or the wild plants. We have had a lot of rain, and every time I come out here, I check for caterpillars and butterflies and all that. And I just don't see anything, so I don't know if anything took advantage of the milkweed patch this year. It is, the flowers are blooming, and as soon as the seed heads happen, what I usually do is I break them off and then I carry them a distance away, and then I break them up and throw them in the air so they'll the seed will spread further than in just the yard here. And I think it's being successful because I started seeing milkweed pop up in the woods. I've seen the milkweed pop up way off in the back. Not this part. I hardly ever go in here because it's pretty swampy. You have to be very careful. I have found out here, although I don't think I went out this year, my husband did. He went out and found lady slippers. So I thought that was pretty exciting that our property is conducive to growing this protected orchid species. So we just go out, we take pictures, and that's it. The little bunny that greets you when you come in. My little violets. Right over in this container, I planted a couple pepper plants, jalapeno plants, to see how they would do in the planter. And they're doing pretty good. They've grown, and then in one of the last windstorms, they got bent over. So that's why they look the way they do. But in the meantime, also the violets really took off in here. But what I want to show you, now remember, the only thing that I planted in here was these 2 jalapeno plants. Let's see if I can get this to show appropriately. What does that look like? I did not plant these, and they look like watermelon vines. They're not really growing though, so I guess I'm not going to get anything out of them, but oh, I just saw that I had my... It's hard recording on your phone when you're trying to do all the things, but so I apologize for showing my finger. Yeah. I was real surprised to see that. But being that it's near the end of July, I don't think anything's going to come out of them. I don't even think I have watermelon seeds in my collection. So my guess is that a bird came by and dropped them. It was a very, very fun surprise. My coleus plants seem to really like this container in this spot because they are growing like gangbusters. My brassica patch. I've got cabbage, cauliflower, and broccoli planted here. Now with the cooler weather that we've had, I would have thought these would have grown bigger and faster than what they have. But they've just started taking off in the last couple of weeks. That doesn't look like anything. I don't know what that is. All these are not weeds. Ugh, mushrooms. These are ground cherries. I planted a ground cherry plant several years ago, and ever since then I've had volunteers come up every year. So I usually let those grow and then pick out the really tiny ones once I see that at least a few are going to produce. Up here is my ghost pepper. I put it in a planter this year. I'm going to do what I can to try to keep it going over the winter. but it looks sad too. I tell ya, we just have not had very much hot weather. And I never thought I'd be complaining about that. Got some tomatoes growing here. Those look like Romas. Here's the hollyhocks that started up. They were volunteer seeds from last year, and I transplanted them into this pot this spring. And they've gotten really big, so they like the weather, and they're getting ready to flower. I can't wait to see what color they are. Itty bitty lavender plant. I don't think that's gonna make it. Here's my celery. That is doing really great. My husband says it's doing so great because it's getting watered every day from the fountain. But I have to say the thing that I am most proud of this year, because I gotta have the silver lining, it's my cucumber patch. I think the last time I shared, the vines were only like maybe a foot long. Ooh, I just spotted a cucumber. But they have really taken off, and they're growing all over the place. I have harvested my first cucumber. We enjoyed that last night, and it was really good. I see one cucumber. Oh, here's another cucumber. But the one I just spotted is over here. That will get picked. So now the broccoli over here in these two containers seem to like the placement a lot better over here than over in the other side of the garden. They started out so weak and puny looking, and then they just took off. I'm curious to see what size broccoli heads I get. So over here is my winter squash. I hear a bee. Oh, did you see her? I can just see her. There she is. The winter squash plants are doing real well. They stretch from the container all the way to that little step up. And I thought I saw somewhere, oh, there it is. I'm wondering if that is fertilized, pollinated. I don't know what pollinated squash looks like. I'm guessing yes. The bees seem to really like this plant. Okay, here is my jalapeno plants. I'm seeing flowers. I don't see any jalapenos yet though. Well, this is fun. Here is my lavender plant. Pluck that out. That's really thickening up, and the smell is amazing. It's another thing that I would like to keep over the winter if possible. That would be awesome. Let's see, do we have any squash? Oh, look at little baby. Oh, I'm sorry. So I could have my first squash in a few days. More jalapeno plants. Oh, this one seems to be doing pretty good. This one looks like it needs to catch up. Here is my lemon balm, which I really need to harvest some. My thyme. Oh, that looks so pretty. Here is another jalapeno plant. But also I planted sugar snap peas in this container too, and I put the poles up hoping that they would climb up them as they were growing. Even with training, they don't seem to really like those bamboo poles. But I have my first peas. My radishes and my muscilin mix. I decided to let the radishes go to flower, and I've enjoyed some of the muscilin mix, but I'm letting that go now too. I've learned a lesson this year. Now last year I did the same thing. I planted mixed greens in these planters and I planted radishes in these planters because the guy from the Rusted Garden channel said you could plant this stuff in planter boxes and it would be fine. My experience for my area, which is zone 4A, it used to be zone 3B. I'm in northern Wisconsin. My experience has not been a good experience, so I'm done with trying to do that, and I think next year I'll just plant flowers, annuals, in these containers. And I decided to let them flower for the pollinators and the bees, of course. I just noticed the cucumber is starting to grow over the lettuce. And the cucumbers kind of taken off over here too. In my previous garden videos, I know I didn't talk about my fruit trees. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I didn't. This one here is a pear tree that was given to us by my sister-in-law. Last year we had some fruit on it and it was amazing. We kind of did cartwheels trying to make sure the flowers got pollinated because my area is cooler, and then it seems when the blossoms come out every spring, it's right around a rainy time. So we went and tracked down an apple tree and cut a branch with some blossoms off of it to attract the bees to this tree, and we were successful. This year, not many blossoms bloomed. But it looks like the tree decided to put all its energy into growing because it seems a lot taller this year. Come back to that one. This one is our very first sour cherry tree. I think they're also called pie cherry trees. Something's going on with it. This is actually the blossoms from the spring and icky fruit. I mean, a few cherries grew on it, but not enough to really make it worthwhile. So, I mean, this tree is over 10 years old. I don't know how long cherry trees last. So back to this one. This is our second cherry tree. And this one, you can see, I will be picking cherries today. There are a lot of cherries. This one is a second pear tree. It's a Ure pear, U-R-E. It did kick out a few blossoms this year, but nothing came of it. We've got another cherry tree over here. I have a grapevine planted on here. I'd say that it's still setting down roots before it kicks a lot of energy into actually growing. Over here is, I think, a black raspberry patch. We kind of gave up on it several years ago, and but we haven't mowed it down or anything like that because honestly, we all kind of like sneaking over here and picking the fruit right off the canes. This is our glorious raspberry patch. We did not plant this. Got some fruit that the birds haven't found and it's too high up for the chickens to get. This whole area has kind of always been kind of a mishmash, and I've actually, several years ago, I came through and I cut down all of the raspberry canes. And as raspberry canes are prone to doing, they came right back and they thrived. I'm not sure how well this is going to show, but we've got some raspberry canes that are like 7 feet tall, maybe even taller. It's ridiculous how much they like this area. And then right next to it is the cherry tree. That's our third cherry tree. Okay, right here, it's front of the house. All the outlying ones are jalapeno plants. They are ones that I bought from the store. The center plants, that one and this one, are homegrown hot pepper plants. And this one is doing amazing. I hope to get a lot of peppers off of it. Couldn't tell you what they are. And knowing my luck, it's probably something that I don't really desire too much. Like one of the really hot peppers that I have. It could be like habanero or something. No, I don't think habanero, but certainly not ghost pepper. I'm not going to get too close up to these three because they're kind of unremarkable right now, but I do have a story that about these. They didn't always have fence around them. Last year, the deer came and nipped off the top of that tree and that tree. I don't think it did anything to the tree over there, but that one appears to be, I don't think there's any leaves on it, so it could be dead. But these two seem to have the will to survive and want to grow, so we're giving them a try, or a chance to try. We planted these the same year we planted these two apple trees over here, and I'm sure you'll notice the major size difference. So this one's grown a lot since last year. In the protected cage. And this one in the protected cage too. I want to say this one gave us one lone apple last year. It was another little bitty one, but it did it. So that's all my fruit trees. Can you see the haze?